Laughing while talking about a painful memory is a traumatic response. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sama. I'm a registered counselor, a relationship coach, and an inner child coach. And today I want to dig deep and talk to you all about why laughing, especially when you talk about your traumas, is considered to be a traumatic response. If you have a wounded inner child, which is, as you all know by now and watching my videos and following me, you know that when you have an inner child, I have an inner child, we all have an inner child that lives within us. And this inner child is carrying all your traumas way before you could remember. And this inner child is holding also the hope for the future. So when we talk about your wounded inner child, we're actually talking about your traumas that can include abandonment wounds, codependency, not feeling enough, and also it can also include people-pleasing behaviors. It can include a lot of trauma response, coping mechanisms like attracting the wrong relationships. And many of us, including myself and my clients, just because we were taught that our trauma was not as important and we should be grateful. What we do when we talk about our own painful memories, we laugh. And this is the biggest mistake you could do, is get yourself to feel conditioned to laugh or smile when you talk about something that's really painful, because first, that means you're struggling with dissociation, or basically you're numbing yourself from your reality. You're not in the here and now. You could be present with us now, but you're not connected to your emotions and feelings. And instead you developed a coping mechanism of laughing. And what it does in return, it really triggers your traumas even further, where you could even develop what we call stored or trapped traumas, because you're not able to process your traumas. So basically, when you're faced with a painful memory, people who have more healthy tools to use will be able to process the trauma through going through survival mechanisms, whether freeze, flight, and being able to go into survival, but get yourself out of survival. This is when you have tools and skills. But if you don't have tools and skills and you have triggers, anxiety, wounded inner child, abandonment wounds, what happens to you? You get stuck in survival. Your mind will block this memory or makes it seem less painful. So, you're protected in a way, and you don't want to face that memory. Instead, your body remembers everything. And this is where your traumas can be stored. And that's why you laugh, because your mind is training you to think it's not as important, it's not as painful, you're okay, and you shouldn't be talking about your traumas. Basically, your traumatic mind is training you to do so, along with your wounded inner child who doesn't feel valued and important. So so what you do instead, you laugh. People with trauma will tend to laugh. And I used to be one of them because that was a way of telling others it's not important. My pain is not important. My pain doesn't matter. And this is where you struggle with further triggers, further traumas, and you could even lose your self-worth, self-esteem. You could lose yourself, and you can even further neglect your inner child because you're not aware. And this is why it's one of the biggest mistakes you could make is laugh when you talk about a traumatic, painful memory. It's like, there's a disconnect between, what you're trying to say and your emotions. It really has a lot to do with deep issues that need to be identified and addressed in the session. Smiling is like a way of gaining, gaining compassionate or empathy, saying, don't take my pain seriously. This can happen on a subconscious level where you trained yourself to act that way. So people don't need to show you that they're hurt by it, but instead you're training yourself in return to not see it as important. And also you notice this is very much the reality of survivors who had traumatic childhood memories and had, the wounded inner child, because they created this reality of laughing off their traumas so they don't feel traumatized. But then in return, you're behaving in a way of showing your wounds further than expected. Your body is holding your traumas. You're not in the here and now. And in reality, you're losing touch with yourself. And you might not know yourself anymore. And that's when you move into depression, anxiety, negative thoughts. Ladies, stop laughing off your traumas. It's not healthy. It's not good for you, ladies. And when you tell yourself my trauma is not as important, basically you're deflecting away from a deep, painful memories. And you don't think you're worthy of healing deep down. And that's when you need to understand, by laughing off your traumas, you're causing more damage to yourself. And it's time to heal. Also, some may laugh off and say, or play down their traumas by laughing because they don't have the tools to manage negative emotions or painful memories. And to heal, you need to bring more awareness into your life. One of the things that worked for me and my clients, if you see yourself laughing or smiling, stop yourself right away and connect to the feelings that are coming up for you, especially during the session with your therapist. Just say, instead of laughing, feel your emotions. Oh, I feel pain in my stomach or in my shoulders. What does that mean? Talk about this instead. Oh, I didn't mean to laugh. It's actually painful for me. You have to start saying this out and loud. And one of the best homeworks you can do today is to write a letter to your inner child, teaching your inner child that laughing doesn't solve the issue. It makes you lose your self-worth instead, and move away from healing your traumas. Start teaching your inner child. Start taking actions when you notice yourself laughing when you talk about painful memories. And if you feel like you need further support, feel free to follow me on Instagram, share this with a friend, and yeah, let me know if you need further support. Share this with your friends, like and comment below. Thank you all for being here. Start becoming aware. Start connecting to the here and now. You notice you're laughing, connect to your body, connect to the feelings that comes with it. Write a letter to your inner child. Teach your inner child actually laughing doesn't help. You're worthy of acknowledging your traumas, and this is the biggest realization you could do. And if you have done these 2 steps, let me know in the comments, and I can tell you what else you could do. But for now, know that your traumas are as important as everyone else around you. So stop settling. Stop downplaying your traumas. You're worthy, and you deserve to know that, you know, what you've been through wasn't okay. You deserve to know that it was painful. You deserve to know that you can heal. Stop masking your emotions and feelings. Thank you all for watching.